We all thought that Pokemon Winds and Waves was a massive game, a wonderful game, a game that wouldn't necessarily exist, but now it seems like it's a reality. And we've always wanted a game that you can feel like you're going back to Johto or a remake of all the original games. It seems like this is actually going to be happening in, well, 2029. And honestly, this is really awesome. Game Freak has been working on a brand new project that seems to bring the Pokemon fans all together once again. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so starting everything off, if you take a look at this leak right here, you can see that Central Leaks has put on the next Pokemon game, or Game Freak developing the next Pokemon game, is in fact going to be a multi-region MMO, which takes place in Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Kitakami for some reason. But honestly, this is going to be really awesome. It really takes everything that Pokemon fans have wanted throughout the years. Maybe it's not exactly going to be the exact game, but it still takes inspiration from all the original Pokemon games. And I honestly think that this is awesome. Being in an MMO, which means multiple players can have a great time together. Which honestly, I think those type of Pokemon games should be like that because it really gives you the best experience in some ways. Now, it turns out that Pokemon Winds and Waves was originally planned to be this MMO, but it was too ambitious, so they pushed it off. So then they decided to do Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and all of these different regions that we all came to love into this MMO, which I definitely think is great, and it seems like it's coming 2027 or later. Now let's be honest, this multi-region MMO is probably going to take a long time to develop, so most likely going to be in 2030 at some point. See, if we take a look at this original leak right here, you can see that Pokemon Winds and Waves was originally supposed to have a hotel that was going to act like a lobby that players can interact with each other. Like honestly, this game definitely seems really cool and really awesome. I can't wait to see what is next. Is it going to be the entire Cantonian region mixed with Johto and Hoenn? Or is it going to be something completely different, where there's only some parts of the region and then the rest is essentially generated other things, or they made a different region to go with these? But I honestly think that the entire region would make sense. So probably how this game would work is you start off in the town where all the regions sort of combine. Then you can go and meet a whole bunch of players. You can see what they're doing, what they're going to be catching. It seems like this is not going to be a 2D game, but instead an actual 3-dimensional game. So something similar to, I would say, something that looks like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But of course, this is all based off of leaks. It could very well be a 2-dimensional game, or even 2D HD if you know how that actually looks, which it looks really great, by the way. But overall, this is definitely going to be a great thing that allows everyone to play together, because after all, Pokemon, or used to be, something that you were able to just that great. Pokemon Pokopia is one of them that I will keep referencing. Now, of course, it's not fully developed by Game Freak itself, but it still is a game that you can see shining through the spotlight, if you know what I mean. But also, you have something like Winds and Waves, which automatically looks really good. They really skipped out on their usual on releasing next chapters to the Pokemon games, but instead going straight to 2027, which, hey, I completely agree with, because right now that game looks really good. So you can best believe it that a multi-region remake for Pokemon would probably go really well. We also have some pictures that could represent how this region would look like. From these pictures, they do look 3-dimensional, but of course this is like project seeds, so I don't know if you know what project seeds are, but essentially it's not officially the game, it's just like what they want the game to actually look at like. So, you know, if this is actual what the game is, man, this game actually looks good, but it's probably not. There's most likely going to be like open fields where you can meet up with Pokemon trainers from across the world, and potentially you can even trade with them. So think about it like Sword and Shield, where you were playing Sword and Shield and you went to the wild area and you can actually see Pokemon trainers. It's probably going to be something like that, but this time instead of being little ghosts, there'll be actual players that you can go out and interact with. If you played any sort of online video game with a lot of players, like a good example of this actually might be Fortnite, because you have like a lobby that you could go and interact, or maybe even something like Warframe or other games that really give you that lobby. Well, the point is, you can go to that lobby, you can see a bunch of players, there could be shops, there could be things like that, and every day the shop will sort of change, or maybe you'll get new items or whatever. Then you could go out into the actual field, you'll see a lot of players. Honestly, Sword and Shield was a perfect example of this. You'll see a lot of players, and you can probably choose to battle if you want to. Ask them for a battle. You can battle them with your Charmander that you got, or your Squirtle, or whatever it is. There's most likely going to be shinies in this game, which you don't have to worry about missing out on shinies, because after all, it is still Pokemon, and usually with standard Pokemon games, we will see shinies. Even if it's a sleep game, you will be able to get shiny Pokemon. So this definitely would work out pretty well, in my opinion. But then there's also the thing that you gotta question. Okay, so how exactly is everything going to work? So how am I gonna invite my friends? It's probably going to be like a standard invite menu system where you click invite and there you go. Now, there's definitely a lot of thoughts on, is this game going to be free, or is this going to be a paid game? Now, honestly, if it was a free game, that definitely would be cool, but seeing as it's a multi-region remake and everyone has been wanting like multi-region remake for a long time, it's probably not going to be a free thing. That's just what I'm thinking, but it might be a free thing. It might be a free game that you're able to just download and there you go. But usually when it comes to free games, there's always paid microtransactions, which I honestly disagree with so much, because it's just like, oh, I got the game a week ago. Someone already bought $1,000 worth of things. Now all of a sudden, he's the best Pokemon trainer ever. Doesn't make the most sense. So honestly, the game's probably going to be a paid game. It looks really good. Like, I think that a multi-region remake is going to be great. And taking place in Kanto and Johto and Hoenn, you can maybe assume that there's going to be different gyms. Like, could be about like 20 different gyms that you can go and explore. It'd be up to you, which there's only one game to this date that has so many gyms. It's in fact Pokemon Gen 2. It has 16 different gyms that you're able to conquer. So in this game, maybe we can have 32 different gyms that you're able to go conquer. Maybe Kitakami doesn't, in fact, maybe there's not even a middle center ground. Maybe Kitakami is that place that you can go and it's sort of like the wild area or something that's like full of markets, and you can go and buy yourself like a Pokeball, Grandmaster Ball or something. You trade in your emeralds, your minerals that you find throughout the world, and then there you go, you got that. Would make sense like that. But overall, I found this to be really, really interesting and really exciting. What are your thoughts on the multi-region remake for Pokemon? Do you think it's going to be great? Or do you think, yeah, I'm gonna take a pass on that because it's not the original Pokemon games? They're probably coming back at some point. They're probably coming back, I'm just saying. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hitting the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel, and see you in the next one. Thank you so much.